Video, we're going to deal with what we call object styles. And object styles will do pretty much the same thing that a paragraph style will do. It'll just make it easier for you to take, instead of text, you can take shapes and you can modify them. And it will definitely uh, uh, make your workflow that much easier when you have these styles assigned. So let's say, for example, we have these three shapes right here. Now, if you don't already have have the object style loaded into your doc, I would advise you to do that if you're going to be working with them. So you go over here to Windows, drop down to Styles, slide over to Object Styles. You're going to get this dialog box, and let's just slide over here so it just drops right in the doc. All right? Okay. So now let's do this. Let's take this object right here. This is this circle, and what we're going to do is we're going to give it we'll give it a fill of magenta, and we'll give it a stroke of cyan, and we'll make that cyan stroke. We'll make that, say, 4 points. All right. So this is our style right here. Okay. I mean, this is our well, it is our style. It's got the fill and it's got the stroke. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the object style. And as you can see, none has a little plus sign next to it. So we're going to create a new style by clicking the tab, much like we did with the paragraph style. Once we click on this, you notice the plus sign goes away. And we'll give this one a name. We'll call it fill and stroke. All right, we have fill and stroke. So now we can do now very easily, we can select on the other shapes and we can say give us a stroke and then give us a fill and stroke. So you can see how that can happen very easily. Now, one of the things we can do is, let's say we modify one of these. Let's say we want that stroke to be, instead of it being 4 point, we want it to be 8 point. All right. And now we need that to happen on every single one of those. All right, so here's what you do. When it come down to, when it come down here to the object style, you'll see you have a little plus sign there because we modified it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little right-click thing. All right, and let me just drag this out so you can see it. Drag this out because I know it's kind of trapped. We'll do a right-click thing, all right, and then you're going to see that there's an option that says Redefine Style. So once we click on that, you can notice that it automatically updated all the other styles. So that's another way you can, once you have your styles in place, you can modify it globally by just redefining the style. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to use a special graphic frame style option. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 images in these 3 frames right here. So I'm going to go to my place option. I'm going to select 3 of them, and I'm just going to drop them in 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, they all came in very, very large. So now what I want to do is I want to get them to fit inside these frames, and I want them to fill the frames proportionally. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of going through each and every single one of them and using the fitting option, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a frame off to the side, and then I'm going to, let's say I'm going to give it a 3-point rule or a 3-point stroke going all the way around it, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my object style, and as you can see, there's a little plus sign because it's different, it's new. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to make it a new object style, and I'm going to call this one picture frame. Okay, so now that I call this thing picture frame, I'm going to do something very special with picture frame. I'm going to give it some more than just the stroke. I'm going to take care of some fitting options. So I'm going to double click on picture frame, and I see all of these different options I have available to me with the picture frame. So I'm going to go down to the frame fitting option. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to say, okay, I want you to align the placed image to the top, and then I want you to fill frame proportionally. All right, I'm going to align to top and then fill frame proportionally, and I'll say OK. Now that I have that designation for this particular object, I'm going to select these 3 frames. I'm going to select picture frame, and as you can see, what it did was, I will preview it. Not only did it give it the stroke around all 3, but it also fit the images to the frame proportionally, or it filled the images to the frame proportionally. So that's how you can also modify your object style to actually control the content.